Video games have found a way to appeal to any sort of niche you may be looking for. As such, it didn't take long for games to start to appeal to a more creepy vibe. While obviously not the first game to use this, I always tend to think about the introduction to BioShock when I think about creepiness in video games. It really helps set the tone and create an immersive atmosphere in which to explore. There are various ways to get this creepy factor, and an upcoming game looks to capitalize on this with having unique protagonist design and setting it in a dangerous world, but what makes it stand out, and should you keep your eyes open for it when it releases later this month? Stay tuned to find out. Developed by Studio Cut to Bits and published by Aniplex Inc., and yes, I mean that Aniplex. Venture to the Vile is a 2.5D Metroidvania that takes place in the strange town of Rainybrook, which has been taken over by the Vile, which seems to be a world-corrupting agent. You will fight your way through treacherous terrains and defeat formidable bosses to absorb their power, but will you use those powers to save the town and find your friend, or will you give in to the monster you've become? The main appeal of Venture to the Vile is the intrigue that I got from looking at the character designs, and I hope to be able to dive into this corrupted world, but instead of being greeted with some sort of story to set the tone, I was plopped right into the fray with very little context and was left to my own vices in order to explore. I personally think having text boxes tell you how to do things is an outdated system for teaching gameplay mechanics, but in this instance I won't really harp on it too much since it is a demo. When it comes to the actual gameplay though, there are pieces I like a lot, and one piece that really hindered my experience. The actual literal depth of exploration is fun to manage, and I felt like the level design was simple yet had effective looping so you can unlock shortcuts, sort of in the same vein as a game that people kinda claim pioneered that style, but will remain unnamed in this video. There are camps spread around so that you can heal up and recover your method of healing, which sounds kinda familiar to me, but I can't quite seem to place that either. My biggest complaint in my experience revolve around how the camera acts. There were a handful of times where I just needed to take a leap of faith because the next area for platforming was just outside the camera range, which led to unnecessary backtracking after taking a fall, or even just taking a hit from the boss who I couldn't even see because the camera was either too zoomed in or the room is too big. The demo lasted 15 minutes and I hope to see more, but with the weird camera angle on top of the fact that sometimes the controls didn't always do what I wanted when platforming, it kinda made me end up getting frustrated and ended up tainting my experience. Overall, it's tough to say that I had a fair chance at evaluating Venture to the Vile. There seems to be something there as the atmosphere and character designs are interesting, but with no story shown, camera issues, and a short experience, it leaves me having to rate it lower than what I was initially expecting to. I liked what I saw in the trailers, and the Wendigo style design for the protagonist may be enough for me to give it a shot when it releases on May 22nd, but I want to stay consistent with this series, and as such, I can only judge these demos based on what I played instead of what I've watched. Luckily, there is another YouTube channel called Wanderbots that had access to a bit more of the game, including some actual story, so I will leave a link to that video below if you want to check out more of Venture to the Vile. But that will be it for this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and as always, be kind to one another. Thanks to my patron support. Oh wait, what's this? I got a new patron supporter? Well, a huge thank you goes to my new raccoon legend Chaos alongside Relativity, Naughty Dog is King, and Himikolo, as well as everyone who's subbed to the channel. Leave a comment or a like if you want and consider subbing if you aren't. But either way, I will see you soon.